and routine maintenance. So it is just getting ready to start an engine. And for today we look at two-stroke engine and the four-stroke engine, petrol. We won't look at the diesel one because we are going to do a practical on the diesel at a later stage. So these are the things, the procedure. What's important is the procedure. And in the past is what you should do for this practical is to write down these things. One, record the kind, make, model, and serial number of the engine. So you have that one. And then underneath that, you just write the numbers. And then write number two. Briefly explain an obvious reason that confirms to you that this is in fact a four-stroke petrol engine. So underneath, you write that down, or even, well, I mean, you can. For me, you can forget the question. Just write one, and write all the numbers. Two, explain the reason. Three, take photos or photo of the engine, machine, in it. Take photos of the engine, machine, and in it, label the following. Where is the fuel added? So there's a photo, arrow, and then like we said last time, this is slipping to the photo. Anyway, where the fuel is added, where the oil is checked and filled, the air filter, carburetor. Yeah. And then 4. Clean off the dust, oil, and other rubbish from around the following points. Fuel tank, engine, air filter, spark plug, grease nipple. Well, we don't have nipples for the four-stroke engine. Remove the spark plug and clean it. Measure the plug cap. Okay. With a feeler, I hope we have a feeler there. Test for the spark plug at the cap and replace the plug. Yeah. At least show a photo like some of these things are happening. Because I think in the marking rubric, I'm not sure now, but in the marking rubric it just says photo of showing some of these things happening. Record the kind of air filter. Yeah. Okay. Start and run the engine. So if you can show that on a photo, the engine running, then that would be another. For those things that are specific, you must identify them. But for the rest of the other things like where we're all working together trying to get the engine running. Just 2 or 3 photos showing people mucking around with the engine would be enough. I'll just mark those. Okay, so that's a four-stroke engine. It's just those are the things I want to see in Europe. Two-stroke engine, again the same, similar things, make, model. Just make sure you follow each of those numbers. That I can tell that all of these numbers are covered. Number 1, the make, etc. Give the evidence to prove that it's a two-stroke engine. How can you prove that's a two-stroke engine? Just one fuel tank, because the petrol and the oil is mixed together and put in the tank. The four-stroke, you need 2 separate tanks, one for the fuel and one for the oil. They are not mixed together. But for the two-stroke engine, there's only one tank, and that's the petrol plus oil tank, one tank. Now, the only confusion you might have is that some of these two-stroke engines are used as sprayers, so they will have two tanks. One tank for the chemical and one tank for the fuel. And you might make a mistake, but it's obvious that it's there's only one fuel tank. And then there's a chainsaw which does have a fuel tank, but it's not for the engine, it's for the chain. But the other main difference is the fact that you mix the petrol and the oil together. All two-stroke engines, you mix the oil and petrol together. All the sprayers that use two-stroke, you mix them together before you pour into the fuel tank. But of course, the difference between the petrol engines and the diesel engines is usually because of the spark plug. There's no spark plug for the diesel, only fuel engines. Yeah. Take a photo, and then identify where the fuel is added. So that's the fuel tank. Air cleaner, carburetor tube. Determine, and then you have to do this. Determine the fuel mix and prepare an appropriate volume. So you need to do this. Determine the fuel mix and prepare an appropriate volume using the recommended ratio. Pour the fuel mix in the tank. You need to submit the calculations. How you did the calculations, and I'm saying we calculate for half a liter. Again, we'll do 500 mils. 500 mils, and we'll use the ratio of, it doesn't say the ratio here, but let's use the ratio of 1 to, let's use 1 to 40. Normally, you need to read the manual. It recommends to you what ratio to use. Normally, they have two ratios. The first ratio is for when you first of all buy the engine when it's brand new. Then they give you a ratio to start the engine running, and then you need to run the engine for a while before you change it. I think it's, I don't know, if I can remember correctly, it's 1 to 25. It depends on the manufacturer, but it's usually, I remember the sprayer was 1 to 25, so you need to mix to that ratio when it's brand new, and then after it's been running for a while, then they recommend 1 to 40. So, in fact, 1 to 25, you have more oil added, 1 to 40 less oil. It's a little bit more diluted. Okay, so you need to submit those. You need to submit your calculations for half a liter. 500 mils equals 1/2 liter. You know, that's about the size of what size is that? So next time you buy a bottle of water, have a look and see what's the volume. But you know those carton of milk, the milk carton, that's 1 liter. That's 1,000 mils, that's 1 liter. You know those my liver bottle, a large lager, 750 mils, that's 3/4 of a liter. So start imagining, volumes in your mind, the sizes. 1 cubic meter is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So this table, if it was a tank, it would be a 1 cubic meter tank. It will hold 1,000 liters, and each of those liters is 1,000 mils. So this will hold 1 million mils. Yeah? Anyway, any questions before we start? So our practical today shouldn't last too long, and we can do it, and then you can work on also on your table. So if you have no questions, let's go and start.